Hello everyone, welcome to my game recap of round number 2 of Najdorf Memorial 2024. I'm playing in Warsaw, Poland, and today was the second round. In the second round, I was paired against a very strong young Grandmaster, Kazakouski Valery from Lithuania. His current rating is 2603. So 2600 player is of course a very tough opponent, and when I got to know about pairing, I was checking his games, and he actually plays a lot of things. He plays d4, c4, e4, knight f3, b3 also sometimes. So I was not understanding what to exactly prepare, so I did the best thing. When your opponent is playing so many things, I just checked what I play sometimes, if my opponent plays the main lines, and I after that I just slept before the game most of the time, and means I took rest, because when you're going to play against such a strong player, and if you are not exactly understanding what to do, if he's not playing any concrete lines, then you should take rest and give your all the energy during the game. So that was my idea. So I went to the game, and my opponent started with the move d4. He's playing from the white side, I'm playing from the black side, and I continued with my usual knight f6. He played c4, I played g6. I'm going to play King's Indian defense, so he played knight c3. Bishop to g7 was played, e4, and now after d6, I had checked his games. He sometimes play knight f3 followed by h3, and he plays sometimes some other setups also, but that was one of the ideas, like h3, g4, these setups. But he kind of surprised me with the move bishop e2. Means I was not actually expecting him to play bishop e2. So I thought what exactly he wants to do, because after bishop e2 there are 2-3 lines. One is like we can play bishop to g5, you can play bishop, miss I castle in the position. Here white has 2-3 options. He can play bishop e3, he can play bishop to g5, or he can just transpose to the main line with playing knight f3, or he can play h3 or h4 also, this kind of ideas. So I was kind of confused what he is going to do. So for castling I took some time, and here in this position he played bishop e3. Then I understood, like, okay, he wants to put the bishops here, and maybe he wants to start his expansion on the king side with g4, h4, and so on. So I was kind of thinking here, because as I was surprised, so I was taking a lot of time to decide what to do, because I don't know what exactly he has prepared or what he is going to do. So I was considering c5 move also here, which is a kind of possibility, but I was not able to make up my mind after dc5 what to do exactly. Means I was thinking out queen a5, which is a possibility in this position. This is there, knight capture c4 is there, but then I finally said, like, okay, if I don't know something in King's Indian, you should play in the center. So I stick to the basics. I played e5. He immediately played d5, and now I played a5, because I thought, like, maybe if he transposes to h3, g4 kind of lines, then knight a5, knight c5 is a very good idea. So I played this move. He played g4, and I played knight a6. If he plays g5, I was ready to play knight d7, and then maybe knight to c5. But to my surprise, he played f3, which is a decent move. It is a good move only. And after this, I said, like, okay, maybe he is going to play g5 in future. Here I was considering two moves. One was h5 in my mind, which I can go for, or I can just move my knight. So I decided to move my knight with the idea of playing f5, because I want to open up the position on this side of the board. So he played h4, and now I played f5 as per my plan. He captured here on f5, and then he captured on f5 again. So here after the game, we were talking, and I was discussing with him that I was planning to play knight to f6, and going for bishop into f5 on the next move. He was saying, like, he might have gone for knight to h3 with the idea of knight g5. That was one of the ideas in this position. Or he can try to stick to the pawn with bishop d3, and this will be, even if I attack this pawn, he doesn't need to worry. He can continue with knight h3, and so on. Or he can even play bishop to e4, and then it is very difficult for me to get the pawn. Means, okay, I have an option of playing knight h5, knight to g3, and then capturing this pawn on knight f4. So the position would have been kind of interesting. But then I thought like, why to do all these things, just play knight c5, the pawn on f5 is anyhow going to fall. So I played means knight to c5 and the pawn will be falling. So I played knight c5 in this position finally. So he played knight h3. His idea is obvious, like he wants to play this move. I played bishop captures f5. He played knight g5. Now if I move my knight anywhere, he is ready to play knight e6, or he can play knight e4 also in this position, because once the knight will come to e4 square, all the ideas of mine with the knight b4, knight c2 are not going to be there. So I was actually confused in this position what to do, because I knew that he is going to play okay, one more thing was also there, that in this position I considered queen captures h4. The pawn on h4 is hanging, and after the game he was also talking about, he was considering me to capture here, but he was ready to give up the pawn, because now after this he can play queen d2 and followed by long castle, and then rook will be coming on g1. That's what I thought, like his, although his rook is coming on g1 and something, but I'll be playing bishop g6. But then I again thought like, what if he exchanges my dark square bishop and the queen comes here, knight will come here, so white will definitely have a lot of compensation for the sacrificed pawn. So I did not dare to capture the pawn. Means I was thinking about it, okay, I was thinking, but I thought like, okay, no, I should not capture the pawn. I played bishop into f5, knight he came here, and now here again I was considering the moves like e4, but unfortunately it was not working, because after this capture, even if I try to play queen e7 thinking that he cannot capture because e3 will be hanging, the problem is that he can capture my knight on c5, and then I will be losing the piece. And if in the position, if I move my bishop anywhere, he can always play h5, and again I have to move my bishop. So I was not exactly sure whether I should go for this or not. Maybe I could have gone like, I can play bishop behind and maybe we'll play bishop d4. Oh no, bishop d4 he cannot play, the knight is hanging, but maybe I could have played it, but I did not think too much after this, so I did not go for e4. I played queen f6 move in this position. Apparently bishop h6 also was one of my ideas, but I left it with the idea of knight e6, and I thought like, my bishop is hanging, my rook as well as the means queen and the rook both are under attack, and even if I play queen to f6, then this will be captured and then I'll be losing the exchange. So I did not go for this thing thinking about this idea, but when I checked it with the computer afterwards, then computer surprised me with the amazing move. That computer says like, I should just capture the bishop and sacrifice the queen. The point is, after sacrificing the queen, he is not able to castle anywhere on this side of the board. As he is not able to castle, knight will be coming here. I have a lot of compensation, and I can always sacrifice the pawn, and the rook's file will also opened up. White's king will be in big danger in the center of the board. Means I have a lot of compensation for my queen, because I have bishop and rook, you can say. Miss not bishop and a rook. I have how many pieces do I have? Bishop and a knight actually, but who will think about giving up the queen just for two minor pieces? So obviously I did not think about it. Only computer can think like this. So here I did not play bishop h6. I played queen f6, a more human move. But e4 was, I was seriously considering e4, but I did not play it. He played queen d2, because my idea was like, in this position, at any point if he plays knight e4, then after all the captures, you can say, or even if he captures, I have bishop h6 move in this position. That was my idea of queen f6. Basically I wanted to exchange the bishop, but he stopped that bishop exchange by playing queen d2, because now even if he plays this move, I am not able to play bishop h6, because of course it is well guarded. So here again I was thinking what to do exactly. I was not getting it. I was thinking about king h8 move, which was also suggested by my opponent in the post-game analysis, and the point is, white will take some time to bring the pieces here, and in that meantime I can try to do something. Means I don't need to worry about the checks or something which will be coming. So rook e8 can also come, knight b4 can come. If he long castles in this position, knight b4 is one of the ideas, with the idea of playing knight captures a2. If knight captures, then knight b3 check, and some ideas are there. Okay, but I played a4 instead of all these things. I said like, okay, let's wait. He played knight e4 immediately, stopping everything. I played queen e7, so my queen needs to be saved. He played h5, and here I captured bishop into e4. One very interesting idea which was suggested to me was by my opponent after the game. That was knight b4. One idea. What his idea was, if white cannot castle, basically, like white, if I go for the castle, knight into a2 is coming, so that is out of question. a3 is not possible because of knight b3 is coming, and knight will not be moving anywhere. So knight b4 was one of the interesting ideas in the position which he was suggesting, but I did not go for it. I thought about it, but I was so much scared about this bishop's diagonal opening up. So I came up with the idea that why not capture on e4 and play rook f4. Means I gambled in the position. Like if he captures, then I thought like I have a very good compensation for this sacrificed exchange, because my bishop is opened up, rook will be coming on f8. If in future the knight will also jump here, queen can come to e5 square. So I thought like I'll get good compensation in the position. So he did not capture it, and here in this position he played h6. I played bishop f6 because bishop needs to be saved. He played castles, and now the pawn on e4 is hanging. Okay, means I can capture the pawn on e4, which I did not dare, because I thought like bishop d3 will be played and where to place my rook in that position. Means, but he suggested that I should capture on e3, which I did not think about, because I thought like here this is not coming because rook g1 is simply coming, and my bishop will be lost. But his idea in this position, which he explained to me, was I don't need to play bishop g5 or something. I can simply play knight first on c5, or I can play king h8 in this position, and then I am preparing for e4 or knight c5, and if somebody comes, then I can capture here. This bishop will definitely get some play. That is what he was suggesting. So I was not actually thinking about it to give another exchange sacrifice like that. So I did not go for knight e4. I played knight b4 instead, because I was in time pressure also. So I think means I knew like he's not going to allow me to play that move. So he simply played the one of the best moves in the position. He played capturing on c5, because now there is no check here, dc5, and now he just simplified the position, because now pawn on a4 is hanging. My attack or whatever compensation I was thinking, it's completely gone, and all he needs to do is open up the position. He played d6 move, which I felt like it was just crushing. After this it is very difficult. I captured with the queen. He exchanged the queens immediately, and after this exchange I am in a very difficult situation. I considered bishop g5 for a while, but after king c2 or king b1, you can say, I don't really have anything concrete. Even if I play rook f6 in this position, he can simply capture here, and then rook is going to come in the board, and the pawn on a4 is also hanging. The c5 pawn is weak, knight b6, knight d5 is coming on the board. So my bishop is too bad, plus the king is also not doing that great job. So I thought like it's very difficult. So I thought like in this position I should just exchange the rook. So I played rook d8, but that was not that cool, because he gave me a check. King f8 is the only move I felt, because if I go in the corner, then my king will never come out. So I played it, but then I suddenly realized that he doesn't need to capture it here. He simply saved the rook with rook b6, and now I was too much in confusion, because my pawn on b7 is hanging. What to do? And if I play rook to d7, I saw that he is going to play knight d5, and if I leave the rook's file, then rook f1 is coming, and another thing is like rook is also attacking the bishop on f6. So but luckily I found this rook to b6 move, bishop to d8 move, attacking the rook on b6. He played rook to e6 in this position, and now I played rook h4. Now I felt like maybe I cannot capture on e4. I saw this bishop h5 is coming, and this is a checkmate, so I cannot capture on e4. So I played rook to h4 in order to control the h5, but after rook e5, anyhow bishop h5 was coming. So I understood that I am just lost, but I still played 2-3 moves. He played bishop h5 in this position. I played bishop e7 because rook to e8 is a check and mate, but still it is just lost, because after rook f5 check, I don't have any squares to go around, and I'm losing everything. So I decided to resign the game. So that was my game against 2600 player. Very complicated. He played a very interesting chess, and I tried to complicate the position by playing rook f4 and all, but somehow my understanding was not that good in this kind of position. So that's why I think I lost the game. And the crazy idea which was suggested by computer with bishop h6 sacrificing the queen for 2 minor piece, wow, that was crazy, I will say. So it was a pretty complicated game, and I hope that I will learn some of the things and you also enjoyed the commentary. So if you liked it, do like the video, subscribe to my channel, because I will be showing you my games every day. So spread this thing with your friends also, and we'll be meeting very soon in the next video tomorrow. Till that moment, take care. Thank you. Bye bye.